Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am Disco Kitty, the Crappy Artist, or the Crappy Crafter, depending on the day. Today, it's going to be Artist because we're going to be playing with some more markers, like I said we were. These are from Touch, and there's 48 in this pack. And I really like this packaging because there's a little tray in here, a little hard plastic tray that holds them all in place. Yay, so that's a nice touch. It didn't come with a swatch thing or one of those little rubber mats or anything, and I'm a little upset about that, but that's okay. The other thing we're going to be doing today from the same company, which I didn't realize when I had originally got them, was with this one. This also comes with markers. Just a little tiny case of them though, just 12 markers. And this one comes with miniature coloring books. Very excited. This one is birds or animals. This one is urban culture, so like buildings and cars and stuff. This one is tasty treats. And this one is the plant kingdom. And this one is the oceanic. That's not a word, is it? Oceanic. There we go. Oceanic. Yes. Realm. So I'm a moron today. It's all good. Anyways, so yes, we're going to be testing those. We're going to use the little ones on the little ones, and then we'll use the big ones on a big paper, which I have drawn myself. And to get into that, I would like to introduce you to my new tool. I have a new tool. It was purchased for me. I was very, very excited. So, very, very exciting. So, with this, I can, draw and stuff. And I'm excited. So, see here, I was working on something. And I don't think, it won't show it, but I used two apps because what I started with was this drawing, and I started to trace it because that's how I've done all my art, so I started to trace. I wanted to make it my own. This was one of those AI done ones, and it's super complex, and the circles don't line up, and the things don't do things. So in that first app I showed you, I did this. There we go. So that's what I did in the first app. And then in the second app I found vector drawing, fatter lines, nicer lines. It just came out so much better. Check out the difference in the lines. I mean, just look at that. This is what we're going to be coloring today, plus one or two things out of this. So with that all being said, I'm excited. Let's get right into it. Alright, real quick before I get into it, I can't for the life of me find this order on my Amazon, but I'm pretty sure it's this listing. Because I mean they kind of look right, but they're called A-center, where these are I remember so yeah. But the ones in the 12 pack, these are what the ones in the 12 pack are labeled. Touch, Yutch, or Touch Young. Touch Young. Those are bad names. Those are really bad names. But I really thought that this was on this listing. I really feel like they've changed it recently, and that makes me a little bit sad. I'm still gonna put this listing down in the description, but Amazon and their shady marketers. I don't know if I'm going to be able to leave an actual review for this because it's not the same, but we'll see what happens. I'll put pictures up and be like, this is what I ordered, this is what I got. At least these are kind of sort of, I mean, when you look in the listing, one of the pictures you can actually see, it says all three of those words. So this one's good. I don't know what's going to happen with that one, but we're going to test them. We're going to see what happens. Let's get back into it. Alright, the first thing I gotta do is create a grid in order to be able to do my swatching, because you know I gotta see the colors, and that big fat line is going to delineate the difference between the two sets. So I've written down the names, and now I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna color all of them. Don't worry, I won't make you watch all of them, as usual. That orange, that I know, there's a lot of oranges there. So the second from the top in that first column, that one was a little dry, but the rest of them are nice and juicy. You'll see how juicy near the end of the video. They are quite juicy, and it's quite pleasant, actually. I like them. I like them a lot. I do. For cheap markers, they worked really, really well. Lots and lots of colors. Some of them are almost identical though. I mean, yeah, some of them are just way too similar to each other within the same set. I understand that the two sets have, similars, because that's okay. The 12 marker set has an amazing line of colors. The 48, not quite so nice. Not quite so nice. But they're not bad. It's not bad. It's not a bad range. It's just some of them are a little bit too close to some of the other ones within their own box. And that's just silly. There shouldn't be markers that are that similar unless you're looking at more than 100. If you're looking at less than 100, nah, they shouldn't have very, very, very similar colors. But, it is what it is. They worked really well. I will definitely continue to use them. I like the color spread that it has, except for a couple of them. But that's okay. They definitely work well. Juicy, nice. The flow is pretty good. Yeah, I like them. Y'all should let me know what you think I need to draw and color, because, like I've said, I am not a creative person. I cannot come up with ideas on my own, but I'm good at fulfilling other people's ideas. So give me some ideas, please. And I will be doing some other things soon. I have a rock painting kit, and I'm gonna do some UV glitter pens soon. Remember the glitter pens that I did? Yes, I'm gonna do those in UV resin. Should be a lot easier, theoretically. Definitely faster. But yeah, now we're getting on to the end of this round, and it looks really good. It worked really well. It bled through, of course, definitely. That section and the big long section, those I used mainly just the 12 pack. That one, definitely. That one, the orange came out of the big one, and then the rest were all in the big one. I used every single marker. Every single marker. And now we're going to try out the coloring books, and we're gonna use whatever markers from the two sets. Nothing from any of my other stores. I'm going to choose one randomly, and we're going to choose animals. Mainland ecology. Dinosaurs. It's got dinosaurs. It's so cute. And kitties. I'll tell you now, I already screwed up the kitty, so you don't get to see the kitty later. I'm sorry. But here we go. Now, I've already noticed that the paper is very smooth. It is very, very, very smooth. And as I'm going along, I will come to the realization that this isn't meant for these markers. It isn't meant for any markers. This paper is meant for dye sublimation in a photo printer, or to be used in a like a photocopier, something with toner, nothing with ink. No ink. Oh, just look at it. But it does do something cool. Check this out. Check it out. You can see, look. That is just so much fun. And you know, this is what a whole bunch of my shorts are going to be comprised of. From here on out, it's going to be some of these, a bunch of these, and a bunch of those resin pens that I've already started doing. And yeah, little resin things, little drawing things, but here you can really see how the ink sits on top of the paper. See, it's sitting on top of the paper. It's not soaking in. I mean, it's soaking in a little bit, but this paper is not porous. It's not. It's really not. It's photo paper. It's really thin photo paper. And that's fine. I used to use that paper all the time. Well, those worked moderately well. Here's what I colored. And like I theoretically said in the voiceover, this little section right here, and most of this section minus the orange, is this set. So this, I don't particularly care for the orange. I like the orange that's in the other one, so I might switch them. But this is a really good set for what it is. For the colors that it has, I really like the selection they have. I really like the colors that they chose for the 12-piece set. And remember, this one is touch, and it says touch on the listing. It shows touch in the pictures, and the reason why I'm saying that is because, you know, when I went to go make my reviews on Amazon, which I haven't done yet, I noticed that this one, the listing actually calls it touch. However, when I went to look for this one again, I couldn't find it in my orders, but what I found was something called A Center, and that is the one that I will link, because when I got these, I swore it said touch. I really did. I thought it said touch when I got them. However, the listing now says A Center. So, I don't know. I will list the listing that's there in the description below, but it doesn't say touch anymore on the website. If I can find the ones that say touch, because these, I was looking at the color selection of the ones in the listing, and they're not the same colors that are here. Like here we start with number 2, but they start with number 1, which is a different red. And Amazon, and then there's super shady vendors. But because you got to admit, some of these marker companies are probably pretty shady. Not like last week's markers. I really hope that the Hotu, I hope the Hotu go on. These, they're alright. But let's talk about this for a second. This was super cool. So when I started the coloring, I was like, oh man, the ink is going down really nice. It's going down really well. And then I started, going into the next section that's close to the first section that I did, and I had noticed that it had already dried, which meant that it was going to start layering instead of blending. And while that's fine, this is a really... Oh, I know what it feels like. It feels like a really thin photo paper. Photo paper that a gloss... It's not glossy, it's a matte photo paper. This is matte photo paper. That's why it's doing what it's doing. So this paper, regular paper is super porous, right? Super porous. Photo paper generally isn't porous. Not as much. I mean, it's porous. It has to be. It's paper, right? It's not like it's made of plastic, although it could be. But the ink generally sits on top. because a lot of photo printers use a wax sublimation, a dye sublimation, instead of like regular like printer inks and stuff like that. So regular inks will sit on top. But what this does is it makes a really, really cool effect. How cool is that effect? That effect is really, really cool. And you know I'm going to make like 30,000 shorts with these, and they're all going to be speckled just like this one. So, you know, look out for that. And remember, look out for the shorts that have already gone out. Yeah, with all that being said, I'll link them. They're not bad. They're definitely not bad. I don't think... Let's see. They were... This whole thing cost $12, worth the price. Absolutely worth the price. What's the other one? Hold on, let me look up the other one. Okay, so this one is $18, but you do get 5 micro coloring books, so that's where that is. And this paper is kind of expensive, so I'm a little surprised that they used it. I used to use this kind of paper back when I was doing a lot of art, like 15 years ago, when I was selling it at like Anime Boston. But whew, we are gonna see a lot more of these. Anyways, that's it. So with all that being said, I'll see you next week. Stay safe.